Hey everyone. I know people always do that thing where they kind of wait to talk because they're waiting for people to get online, but it's kind of silly because most people are probably going to watch this at some other time. So I'm adjusting my chair so I don't bump the camera. Whoop, I just did it. What's happened? Hold on a second. All right, that's better. Holy moly. Well, it's been a minute. Paul, what's going on, my man? Obviously, I have been around the world and I'm back here again doing it. Regarding Paul, you man, it's an American holiday of 3 days. Trying to get this wrapped up. Me and you will be talking on Tuesday, no later than Wednesday, to figure out our little bit of our dilemma of, without being political, getting this motherfucking shit to England. I know. We're talking about it right now. So if you're joining in, the topic was turning a. Actually, Paul, maybe you can help me with this. I did your mics, and they're like this. Do you want your mics to be? I have this automotive paint that I custom paint these. Would you want yours to be green before I send them out? And green or blue, these are just basically that with my label. These are primered and painted. Let me know, and I'll make yours this. It's not a big deal. This whole body part can come off, and I can prepare it and primer it and paint it and then put it back on the body without worrying about it. So let me know what you want. You want a greeny or you want to keep it this kind of like blue. So anyways, the conversation opens up with, I'm going to paint them orange. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let me go find a cool orange and then I'll paint them orange. Or if you want to, it's cool. They're really easy. You know, let me have you do it. I would hate to get the wrong color orange for you. But these bottom halves unscrew and this whole part just comes off and you don't have to worry about it. Super easy to get done. Hold on, I get a drink of my oh my god, of course now I have the toughest time taking it off. Hold on a second. Hold it now. Trying to open up my Pellegrino and it's like the only time I get a top that won't undo. There it goes. Alright, so here I am. Alright, Paul, we've agreed. I'm going to send him to you stock and you're going to paint him orange. Me a drink? Now, before we get started, I'm actually taking a drink, not to be rude, of my Pellegrino spiked with pure cane cherry soda. And actually, that's a Topo Chico inside that. The bottle was cold, so I did it. So anyways, if you want to help me out, support the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. You can actually become a member as well. And if you want to just buy me a cup of coffee, if you hit the thank you underneath the description, I think you can buy me literally a Pellegrino. All right, so the topic of the conversation is buying a $99 mic and making it sound like a $1,200 mic. Now, these are kind of like, if you can watch the Hulk turning into the Hulk, this would be when he was a man. This is when his pants split, and this is when he becomes a full Hulk. And that's a full Hulk Manny version. So the way this usually works is for about 3 or 4 years, if you haven't watched or seen this before, is I make upgrades on microphones. These are ribbon mics. These are all MXL, the company, and they're made in China. They're the cheapest, probably some of the cheapest modern ribbons you can buy on Sweetwater, which is the United States equivalent to Kmart, I guess. And what it is that they sell these for 99 bucks. Now, I will say, these mics are a perfect storm. The only difference from these mics and paying $1,400 is what's in the ribbon. When you go to AEA and you get an R84, it's the same thing. It's a magnet, it's a transducer. And here's the thing. If you get, where is it at? If you get a Fathead or a Pinnacle or any other mic, you're going to find this transducer inside. That's in here, that's in here, that's in there, and shockingly, that's in there. It's the same one. This is Chinese made, and this is where you put the ribbon. A Pinnacle, a Fathead, a Golden Age, they all come with this transducer, which is made in China and has a Chinese-made ribbon. This is not anything against China. The ribbons, as they say in France, are fucking shit. I know I already said the F-bomb. They're okay. Let me put it that way. These mics sound so fucking good that even with a ribbon that's not tensioned and out of slack and malnourished, they still sound fucking good. But when you get someone like me that corrugates these ribbon like Royer, and I put a high quality resilient ribbon cut to the gap of the magnet, no fucking around, you get 3 to 5 dBs more sound out of this. And because my corrugation has more detail, you get better mids, highs, and a tight low end. And that's what I do to these microphones, which make a $99 mic sound like a $1,200 to $1,400 ribbon mic, because it's all in the ribbon technology and the ribbon cutting. I've been cutting ribbons for about 4 or 5 years. I've done ribbon mics for Mr. Rubin, who's now in the Foo Fighters. I did his 160s. Justin Medall Johnson's a local producer that does Beck, and he was in St. Vincent. He also produces Paramore. I did his 160s. I've been over Daniel Lanois. I'm making a ribbon mic for Daniel Lanois. I've re-ribboned Butch Vig's BK5s, Michael Beinhorn's BK5s. The singer from Granddaddy, Jason, has one of my ribbons. And if you know me and you're within ear distance of anyone that has used my mics, I'm pretty much word of mouth, only because I'm doing this in YouTube. That maybe but I did these mics for my buddy out, Ryan in Guam. Paul, which is Paul Metz is here. He's in England. I've done his whole collection. I think it was like 14 mics or 12 mics. I just completed them. And yeah, man. And Chaz, who's out of New York, just did his mics, who's a friend here. And also, if you want to be on the membership, I only have 6 members, and I know every one of those members. If you want to do it, become a member. I'm having some exclusive content coming up where I'm excited to share with you all. So if you can become a member, I have at least 2 videos coming up where I'm going to showcase possibly even my own ribbon mic, and then one is going to be about releasing an exclusive song that I'm going to premiere with only the members of this. And this song is so fucking cool. So anyways, back to the mic. So these are MXL. These are all MXL 144s. That's a 144 and that's a 144. This one, it just has my logo done over that. The scenario of this is this. Years ago, when I started cutting ribbons, a buddy of mine, he would only buy cheaper, affordable Chinese ribbons. He knew they didn't sound that great, but he just wanted ribbon mics, because ribbon mics are basically one of the oldest school technology, but still to this day, one of the best recording mics to get good results using computers. And so he had all these ribbons. So I would do all his mics, and as I would test them, I'd always be like, because I didn't know anything about MXL, I'd be like, dude, what is this mic? This mic is fucking sick. Then I'd do some more, and he'd bring in another one. I'm like, oh, that's that fucking mic. And I would do it. I'd re-ribbon it, and could not believe on how good they sounded. So then I told my buddies, my producer friends, hey, why don't you buy these mics? And my upgrade is $250. So what you get in the upgrade is the deal is, if you can contact me, send me your PO, I'll give you my PO box, because Sweetwater is free shipping. That means even if you live in Germany, you can write me, order from Sweetwater, they send the mic to my PO box, and then for $250, I upgrade these. And if you live out of the country, it's about 60 to 80 bucks to send it. If you live within the US, it's free. So the $250 that you send me, I'll cover the insurance of the microphone cost and the insurance of the upgrade, and basically free shipping. And that's my offering back to you, which is getting an affordable mic for 99 bucks. You get it shipped to me for free. For $250, I upgrade it and then ship it back to you for that cost. Only if you live out of the country, you'll have to add 60 to 80 bucks for shipping. And now that we have these weird scenarios, that there may even be some limitations with that. So you have to inquire with me, and we have to figure that out. But for the US peeps, to the most part, this is them. So this is what the mic looks like when you buy it. It's completely wrapped up, sealed up. Then this is what I've been doing recently. Is I have this cool automotive paint. I've been making them green. I think this looks badass, but like I said, Paul wants some orange. I'm not going to do orange. I'm just going to do green. And then I have them stock blue. So you can tell me which one you want, and I'll do them for you. Now, today's under the knife is going to be that. What the hell is that? Well, that's still an MXL, and that's called their R77. This is about 250 bucks to buy this from Sweetwater. I think these went up 12 bucks. Let me do a correction. With the tariffs, these used to be 99, and I think these are 112 now to buy. So I just want to be politically correct. This probably was 2.25. Now I think it's 250 to buy this mic. And I'm going to talk to you about this one. So this one costs more money, looks retro, has a, what do they call it, a yoke or whatever, for, you know, it looks totally old school ribbon mic. And that, once again, is a brand new mic, MXL. The mics are all brand new. This is brand new, this is brand new, but then after I re-ribbon them and paint them, they don't look brand new. They look like this or that. So, all right, let's get to it. Hold on a second. I'm going to make sure I put all these things back in their places. Let's get these out of the way. Get the greenie out of there. All right, so now we're left to this bad boy. So I had no idea about this mic, except that a buddy of mine had gotten this. I've seen pictures of it, and it's basically symbolically a recreation of which would be an RCA 77. Now, I've already taken it off just so I can start working on it. This bar actually went through the middle, and that has the arms that you tie this into place. So this is your mic clip. Really fucking cool, I will say. And I like the way it's made. It weighs a ton. This bottom, I don't know if this is made out of brass or aluminum, but it's really fucking heavy. So let's close this up. And let's get into the dissection of this microphone. So if you were to buy one of these, which obviously are more money, these are not 99 bucks. These are about 250. In the description, the ribbon they use is 1.8. I'm going to be putting a 2.5 because I want these to be more resilient. Plus my corrugation probably brings it closer to the sensitivity of a 1.8. So I was shocked to see what's inside this. So if you remove the bottom, which is the top, what do you find? Interesting. Let's see here. All right, there it is. That's the Chinese transducer. Looks like, to me, that's an R144 in there. I mean, it's exactly it. But this plate is different to make it accessible for this bottom part. So I'm gonna unscrew this. So that is the difference pretty much, is they mounted it on this plate. Actually, it's screwing from the bottom, not the top plate. I do have to screw in, this thing weighs a ton. So obviously, you know, what you're paying for is, I don't know, I don't think this is brass unless this is coated, or maybe this is stainless steel, but I mean, this, at least 2 pounds, massively heavy. It's Megami wiring inside, which is great. It's got a little burn mark in there. I don't know what that's from, but so I guess it is brass. Maybe that's why that bottom is like that, exposing a little bit of the brass inside. Everything looks identical to an R144 except this bracket that's been upgraded, so the grill can be screwed into there, and it has this little brass ring. It's a nice little detail on it that just makes it lit. So like I said, when you pick up this mic, you're feeling how heavy it is from this metal bracket. Now they claim that you will have better top end than a normal 144, and I probably think so. I think this grill, being as large as it is, and I always explain it, man, the more air you get around the ribbon, the better it's going to sound. So they kind of have gotten rid of the R144, which would have been about maybe an inch smaller, would cover this smaller. But with this top end and more air around the ribbon, I believe you get better fidelity. Now I'm looking at this ribbon when I open it up, and you can see, well, this is stock out of the factory. It's damaged right here. What that looks like to me is the screw. When they were installing this mic, the magnet draws these screws in. It looks like a screw flew in, and they picked up the screw and put it in, but they did not replace this. So that, once again, that's just one of the things. If it was AEA, if it was like Royer, they would not even, they'd, if the guy who does the ribbons gave this to the inspector and they were to look at that, they'd be like, dude, come on, get in there and fucking do that ribbon again. So yeah, that's perfectly what's going on here. So even before I've even worked on this mic, a screw hit that ribbon. It already damaged it. This is brand new. Aside for that dent, I think my buddy dropped it out of the factory. But that dropping cannot do that. That is a physical, because this, I haven't even removed this plastic. So, and if you look at the other side, it's damaged all right there, where that's exactly where the screw hit it. They picked up the screw, they put it inside, and they did not do the ribbon. So the quality control is something to be said for. But that's when my buddy sent this mic to me. So now if you're saying to yourself, okay, this is $250, and then you're going to pay me another $250 to do that, that's $500. What's going on, Manny? Well, there's still no fucking ribbons that are good under $500 unless you buy them on the used market, and then you're at the mercy of them being possibly ruined like that. You can get buyer 160s. You used to be able to get buyer 160s cheap. Now they've gone back up to $800 or $900. Royer has a really nice small ribbon mic that's probably on the used market between $400 to $600 to $700. I will say that's great, but the only debate you will have is that Royer has a sound. And if you don't like that Royer sound, then you're probably not going to buy it. An R84 on the used market, $700, $800, $900. Brand new, $1,400. They've gone up in price. So the mic that this is kind of emulating, you know, a 77 would be $3,000. And so you paying $500, getting a ribbon that's kind of like a Royer with the resiliency, but giving it a sound like an R84, it's fucking, that's dynamite. I mean, I'm making dynamite, basically. Hold on a second. I might need a space. Okay, let me do that for you, Paul. I'll send you 2 extra stickers, so when you paint them, you can use the stickers and put them where you want. All right, so we've taken this apart. Let me put this to the side. Once again, I will say, I love the grill. All this, like they did, and once again, it's a perfect storm. Just put a fucking good ribbon in it. I even told MXL, if you put better ribbons in your mics, you could have the best fucking world-class mic for $500, and they passed. Not that I was offering anything. I literally met with them. I talked to everyone except the owner. I said, listen, if you look at my P.O. box, come from Sweetwater, you're going to find hundreds of these coming to me. I'm literally making them sound like world-class mics. As a company, if you did a few things and got a better, I guess, quality control of the ribbons, instead of having that gap is probably 5 millimeters. That ribbon's probably 4 millimeters. There's almost a millimeter gap between the magnets. I fill up that gap with ribbon, and that's why I get 3 to 5 more dBs out of it. And that's the ticket. I put in a better ribbon, and, you know, that's just what happens. So, once again, these are buying brand new for $250. You can still send it to me. Now, they claim that you're going to get more high-end. I am in agreement with that, because this grill will give you more high-end, because once it goes around the mic, you don't have anything blocking the sound, and it's just, it's pretty fucking killer. It's the perfect storm. So let me put this aside. I'm the fucking perfect storm today. I've had my espresso. I'm fucking ready, and I've said so many F-bombs already. Hold on. Let me get a drink. Oh boy, that's so good. Okay. So we're going to do this mic, which is called an MXL R77. Like I said, the only difference from an R144 is this bracket and this new plate that it sits on. But the claim as far as getting better high end will be from the quality of this grill, which I think this is a great grill for that. So I do say most likely these will have a little bit more upper frequencies and a little bit of a tighter low end. Even though the transducer, this is a 144, I mean, it's pretty much identical. But the head basket has everything to do with the sound. And I love it. I got a little fan here because I have to kill the air so I can do this. So if you hear me panting a bit and drinking more water, it's just because my studio is airtight. And when I turn off the AC, it's a fucking sauna. You know what I'm saying, man? All right. Let's remove this. Let's get to it. I got a lot to do. I got a lot to do on my plate. I just was in the studio a few massively long days cutting the new Lemo record. If you want to go find out more about Lemo, go to the Instagram or even the YouTube page for Norm's Rare Guitars. Add Michael Lemo 2 on the YouTube page and you'll see the new single I did for him. He's the guitar manager over at Norm's Rare Guitars. Get him on IG. He's a fucking insane guitarist. So anyways, I just spent 2 to 3 days, actually 3 days on my end total of the last few days working on his new LP. He cut 10 songs. I believe he's in tomorrow to do some more guitars. We really wrap up his records within 5 days usually, not including the mixing. So I'm actually really excited to not only have my new studio, and if you know my story, it took me about 5 or 6 months to get this place up and going, but now to have quality artists coming in, that really warms my heart. And if you really want to warm my heart, you could buy me a Topo Chico. Come on, you motherfuckers. I'm just kidding. Well, most of all, if you're a producer and you could take advantage of this, that would be sick. I'm going to be doing these for the next few months, and then I may have to cut down a bit because I have my own microphone that I've designed. And that's what I meant. If you become a membership on this channel, I'm going to premiere my mic in about 6 weeks. And then also in about maybe a few weeks, I have a single that I'm going to release to only the members here. They can hear my band, which we have a super amazing vocalist that's a guest speaker on my shirt, or guest singer, I should say. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I don't know. I'm not really like one of those like, you know, I'm not gonna like, I don't know. People that make content, I think there's a point, like even for me, like I do this every day when I can, but because I can't all the time because I have a studio, the algorithm doesn't really play in your favor. But I'm actually doing this because I love it, so it's a win-win on my end. I get to go online, get to see Paul hanging out here. What's up, Jason? Paul? Huddle Studio. What's up? Is that Johnny? Johnny, are you Huddle Studio? I always get confused. It's hard when I see the names of people that I know, but then I don't always associate that with the people that I know. Except mine says Manny's Mic Locker, so it's like, yeah, you know who Manny is, and we've talked, but sometimes when it's like Husker Du Mountain Woods Studio, and I have no fucking idea, and you're like, dude, it's me, Scott. Oh shit, hey Scott. Like, my brain isn't always queued up for that kind of thing. Let's see here. All right, so looking at this, you can see that that ribbon is completely fucked up. That's out of the factory. It's wasted. I mean, it probably still works, but what happens is that, where did those screws go? Hold on. Oh, they're in the box. If I undo this screw and I'm not holding it properly, it could fly out into the magnets and lands perfectly right there. So what happened was, see if I can recreate that. see if this screw flies in there. Let's see if that's possible. Is that possible? I'm gonna lift it up and then loose. If you went like that, nope, didn't do it. Can it do it? I guess like that. I just threw it in there. So it threw it, it probably fell in there and they grab it out. If you can do that. Oh, fuck. I just fucked it up. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so the magnets grabbed the screw and basically that's why it initially got damaged. My Sherlock Holmes experiment failed miserably. All right, so, yeah, we just fucking tore that schnizzle manizzle out. Let me put this in my bracket so I could work on this properly. All right, so let's get this started. So I can move my chair up a little bit and not bang the camera. Hold on now. I have that like studio chair that just gets lower and lower and like it's time for a new one. Jesus. See, I would have just ripped that ribbon up. That wasn't already done. So this is going to a local friend. He's a producer. He's pretty much a badass. If you look up a band called Virginia Reed, I think they have a video called What I Learned from Being Shot. I did that track, and that's Keith, the guy that owns this mic. And I will say it's one of my favorite fucking bands I did maybe 15 years ago. I don't even remember. It had to have been 2008 maybe. Uh-oh, Chaz is online. What's up? He's a member, I believe. This is a, wow, this is another new thing. This thing right here, the soldering iron looked like it melted this solder joint right here. Kind of dug into that. So I got to put that back exactly the way I got it, because if not, there's going to be some problems. Because that's not going to fit. Because it looks like some of the material melted a little bit. Make sure that's flat. Hold on. Alright, it's flat. This one has some problems. I mean, it must have been a bad day. Maybe it was a Monday. Maybe it was a Friday when this was made. But the person who made this mic, they burnt it right here. And it melted a little bit of the plastic plate here. And then they dropped the screw in there. So I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying that person was having a bad day. But then it's cool is that they were just like, no one's gonna know. Sending this shit to fucking the United States. Fuck that dude who's gonna get this mic. It still sounds good. That's right. It does still sound good. Shockingly. But it's going to sound better. And that is the question. To be or not to be. It is to be better. Alright, so let me clean this up a little bit. What's up, Chaz? I know, my office chair is like, what's up? So this is called an MXL R77, which the, it looks like a 77. You see that? That's what this mic looks like. And it says in the description it gets more high-end than the normal MXLs, and I'm probably in agreement with that, because I think that the larger head basket around there is going to give more air around the ribbon, and you can get more fidelity. It's not closed in. That's why I meant like Royers have a sound, because it's like this. It's just totally, there's not only sound comes in is right there. It's a resilient ribbon. I do like kind of an endurance or a resilient ribbon that I load in. That's like a Royers, except when you open it up into a bigger mic, it sounds really fucking beautiful. And these mics are more than the 44s. The 44s, because of the tariffs, have gone up from 99 bucks to 112. These ones used to be about $225. Now they're at $250. And I will say a little bit extra money for the top end may be worth it if you want to get one of these. But once again, if you send it to me, I will. And the way it works is you got to get my P.O. box, because Sweetwater is free shipping anywhere in the U.S. If you're in Germany and you want to get one, we got to figure that out. But you can still buy it and send it to me, free shipping. Whatever you do, don't send it back to you in Germany and then send it to me. That's a little bit redundant. Thanks, Jay. I really dig this mic too, the way it looks. I was curious about it, and then when my buddy said he had one, I was like, yeah, man, bring it on down. And he dropped it off to me over the weekend, and I wanted to see what this was about. So I kind of opened this up live, not knowing, except even though I prepped it. But I will say this one's got, you know, it was a rough day, man. You could see it's a little crooked right there. There's some damage right there. The weld or the solder just blasted onto the board. Just make sure it's clean everywhere. When I clean that off, it just removes the tape residue. So when I put the tape back on there, I haven't looked at this one. They didn't say, but let me see what the gap is. That's actually the next thing on my list. What is the gap? I think this transducer is just like a 44. So I will just say once again, it's between 4.90 to probably 5.5. Does anybody want to put in their bids for the gap? Let's find out. I'm going to guess at, I'm going to say 520 or 5.20 in the gap. Let me know what you think. Paul, you got a question on the gap? Chaz, you want to take a guess between 4.90 to 5.5 millimeters? What do you think? All right, let's do it. All right, I'm going to say 520 gap. Paul's 512, 518. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, shit. Is that right? Back atlas way bigger than it's showing. Wow. 484. Misleading. Big mic, small gap. Let's see the top. $492. $487 to $492. Wow, we're all wrong. All right, $490 is a gap. I think the bigger ribbons matter sometimes, but a real 77, the ribbon is probably about 4 millimeters, maybe less. It's not that big, but it's just longer. It's like 3 inches. This is going to be 2 inches, I believe. Let me check it out. No, it's about 1.5. So it's about 2 inches on the ribbon. The magnet is about 1.5 inches. Yep. But, you know, once again, the thickness of the ribbon matters in the sense of when you got a really big boy mic, like I think the Cascades were pretty massive. I mean, Coles are almost 6.5. Chaz has two fat heads that were almost the same gap as a Coles. And I think there's some bigness that happens with that. And once again, I'm a fan of these mics, and I think that even that gap being smaller still leaves more detail to the microphone. And once again, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. But if you get one of these transducers and it's like 6.5, well, then you're talking about Cole's kind of, you know, gapness, if there even is such a word that reflects that. All right, so let's do that. So we got about 490. I want to double check that, just make sure I'm not losing my mind here, not paying attention. All jacked up on Pellegrino, Topo Chico. Okay, let's see, that's right. Yeah, 485, 46. $490. All right, 46 to 494. Okay, let's see what we got. 646. Now we have to cut the ribbon. I'm gonna put this to the side. If you hear a little extra noise, it's a fan because it's hot today and I had to turn off the AC to do this. So there's our ribbon, which is the foils within these two papers. They don't come like this. They come in a massive big sheet. They're about $100 a sheet. And then I cut them into smaller increments that are workable. I have one back here. There's usually I have like 4 or 5 of those to work with. How many do I have left? Maybe time to reorder here. Oh, I got one. Hoochie poochie. I know, right? Here comes the hold your breath time. So I'm gonna cut this ribbon. Just make sure I nothing on the grill. Let's get a drink of my Pellegrino. Like I said, if you want to support me, and Paul, you can't, Chaz can't buy me one, but you could buy me a cup of coffee in the thank yous. Or even better, order a mic from Sweetwater. And I feel like I'm helping the world of recording. And you're helping me. Helps me stay alive. It's my extracurricular fun work to do. And for right now, it seems to work out for time frames. It takes me about 2 to 4 hours each mic. So it's kind of like, you know, someone just joined our group chat that I feel busted. Keith, your R77 is up on the table. If you watch the video, you'll see me start off with it. So anyways, Keith, who I told him about your band, is super sick. And so yeah, Keith's up. Everybody say hello to Kay Hendrickson. And he's in a sick band. It wasn't a sick band that I recorded, called Virginia Reed. There's a video on YouTube, you can look it up, called What I Learned from Being Shot. My friend Gus filmed it, and I recorded it. Keith produced it with me. It sounds pretty goddamn fucking good still. But anyways, yeah, we're cutting the ribbon for your mic right now. And I promise you I wasn't talking too much shit about your mic. All right, so let's see what we got here. Let's cut the ribbon first. Keith hooked me up with this 77, an R77, and 2 limited edition MXLs, which I won't be getting to for a few days, but I thought the R77 was worthy because I haven't done one before, but I had a feeling that the internals would be just like an R144, which it was, so I was pleasantly surprised with that. not too hard to take apart. There was a few little different things I have to do when I put back on the yoke or whatever that thing is that's on the bottom of the mic. But to the most part, this is it. We're really doing it. All right, Keith. So if I fuck this up, you can text me immediately and be like, "What the fuck, dude? What are you doing in my mic live on the air? I told you I didn't want you to tell anyone that you're doing my microphone." Oh shit, Electric Al. Daddy needs coffee. He's a member. I do need a coffee. You can do that in the thank yous. I think it's below the description. You can buy Daddy a coffee. And if you become a member, there it is. So Chaz is a member. If you want to become a member, I have now. So Chaz, I think you're the 7th member now. So I think I do some videos that have like about 2,500 views on these lives, and the minimal is about 1,000. But I have 6 members. I think some of those people are bots. The bots just kind of chime in and they, I don't know what they're doing. Sometimes people say interesting things like, I told you about that one guy. His name is like Salmon Dong Liquor or something like that. And it's just like, I like to troll. That's his comment. I'm like, oh God. Then I just fucking delete him. I think that's a bot. Because he showed up one other time and he's like, hi. I was like, oh fuck. It's the salmon guy. I mean, just having your name called Salmon, I'd never heard anyone with, I have a friend named Razor Ramon. Now, you know what Razor Ramon's all about. But having a guy named Salmon, like Salmon Dong, or Salmon, or Exploding Salmon member, is just fucking crazy. Like I don't have any buddies that, maybe, people have been called fish. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Why am I talking about this right now? Okay, so we got that out. Let's cut this motherfucker. All right, and like I said, you can like it. You can subscribe. You can become a member. But even better, pick up a mic from me while I'm still doing this shit. I love doing this, but there will be a time when my new company comes where I have a feeling I'm going to be cutting ribbons for my own mic. And it's something I really believe in. And as far as an educational thing, if you can watch these videos and you decide that, when I show you these videos, this isn't meant to like tell you that only I can do this shit. No, I learned from a guy named Ulf. Add Ulf on YouTube, ULF. He's from Sweden. His channel's called Hobo Rec, like a hobo bum, HOBO. Then Rec, like recorder, REC. He's the one that did a video like 6-7 years ago that was how to make a ribbon mic. And I saw that. And I really changed my life. I'm here right now because of some guy in Sweden. And he's actually become my bud. And he comes out for NAM and we go have coffee usually before NAM and we hang out. Is the new mic locker video still coming? Yeah, I got a mic locker out in the desert. My friend Ron coming out. I also have another one, 64 Sounds, which is fucking wicked. That's in Highland Park. I possibly have one other one that's in there. And I plan on shooting a few more. I've been speaking to some people. I was just talking to a girl named Stella who's in a band called Warpaint. She has a really cool studio out in the desert, and she's moving to downtown. I may be talking with her. She's in Courtney Cox. No, Courtney. Oh my God, what's her name? Courtney Cox. She's in I think she's an Australian, New Zealand artist. She's totally fucking badass. She plays in her band right now too. So I'm gonna ask her about doing a mic locker with her. She's in Warpaint as well. I want to do one with my friend Cody. He's in the Malvins. He's in big business. He's in High and Fire. He has a really badass studio in downtown, not too far from me. but he's always on tour with the Melvins. And I remember I talked with him, and he said he slammed until like November. So he's another guy I'd like to do. And my studios and guys to work with aren't necessarily like you need to have the raddest collection. I'm just like people that are enthusiastic, people that are trying to make a difference in the world recording. I like that more. I mean, when I go to a studio and if a guy has all vintage mics, it's a little boring, honestly. Cody has like Heisermans and a bunch of other cool mics. He has a bunch of Soyuz stuff. And I love talking about modern mics that you can go out and buy right now and that sound badass. I mean, these mics, these MXLs, you can fucking buy these right now. I can fucking jack them up like the Hulk. And then now you have a killer mic. To me, that's a fucking story right there. You know what I'm saying, motherfuckers? You catch my drift? You capiche? Hold on, let me get this fucking... I gotta get my schnizzles and my nizzles out. Let's put this razor blade back in the shot glass. We're gonna get ready to corrugate this mofo. I think I got this right. I had this wrong last night and I almost fucked up the ribbon. Let me get this fucking... I'm just cussing a lot today. I'm not angry. When I use the F word, it's like the way people in New Zealand use the C word. I wish that was acceptable. Like, I would say, Keith, you fucking C. You know, they use the C word, and that's like endearing. Not necessarily bad. But maybe in England it could be used both ways. I think it'd be used both ways. But I won't start doing that, I promise. I feel comfortable saying motherfucker and fucking shit. And joking wise, I could say the C word with endearment, but I don't want to get fucking flagged here for doing stupid fucking ribbon mic videos and they flag me because I'm using the fucking C word or some kind of shit that's like upsetting people. You know what I'm trying, man? Sorry, this ribbon is a little bit of a son of a bitch. Come on, just fucking... I have to get it out of the paper and not fuck up. And it's fucking up. Come on. Jesus, it folded. Damn. I don't want you to fold. Not in front of my friends. Hold on, it's folded and I gotta take it out slowly. Okay, don't fucking break on me right now. Come on. Oh, my fan's blowing. Fuck. Hold on. Okay, fan is away. So now we're gonna corrugate the ribbon. And if you're interested in this, in the description is my actual email and also all my social media. So there should be no issues with you getting a hold of me, talking about doing a ribbon mic. I've done microphones for Keith, who's on the channel right now, microphones for Paul, who's on this channel right now, and microphones for Chaz, also known as Charles, on this channel right now. So I have 3 homies here that are all my homies, and I've done mics for them. So this isn't really like a fluke. It's actually someone that cares and makes some sick fucking mics. Yes, it is 2.5. I've found myself really liking that for durability and also gives me room. My corrugation here almost rips the foil apart and I need to have 2.5 in there so the ribbon can last and it becomes really rock solid. So yeah, I cranked that shit out with a thicker ribbon. But also my corrugation, I think, is better. It sounds like a karate guy. Like, my style's better than your style, motherfucker. All right, so let's get this back in the story. Let's get the paraphernalia thing together here. I'm going to change the orientation of this so it doesn't turn on me. Hey, Shannon's here too. I did a mic for Shannon. Uh-oh, looks like we got Shannon, Paul, Keith, and Chaz. I've all done mics for you motherfuckers. You know what I'm trying, man? Shannon actually has names for him, and Shannon's a guy, so don't get all fucking creepy on Shannon going like, so what colors do you like, Shannon? Oh, he'll fucking knock your teeth out, that's what. That's what you'll see blood, red. if you like the color red, don't fucking ask Shannon what kind of color he likes and where does he eat tacos at. You know what I'm saying? I know all the shit I'm saying is politically incorrect. What the fuck am I gonna do, huh? I'm almost 60. What the fuck? I lost my filter. Jesus, I lost my filter. Big time. Sometime after 55, you just don't give a fuck. Because I look at things different now. Well, let's say I knew you when you were 30 and you're an asshole. But I doubt with you because we're in a local band or you're some dude. Now when I look at you and you got a fucking mohawk and you have no fucking hair, I'm just like, what a douchebag. And that's the way I feel. You start wearing makeup at fucking 55? Come on. You're not young. Get over it. Embrace your elderly, man. Robert De Niro looked sick as he got older. Not now, but like, you know, there's a good time where it was cool to be a little bit of an older cat. I'm embracing that. Okay, now I'm going to stretch the ribbon. I don't want to break it. I just want to stretch it. All right, that's great. As you can tell, the reason I stretched the ribbon out, because at Royer and AEA, can't do Kohl's because the ribbon's too thin. They stretch them out because it takes the, like all metal, like if you have a machine shop, doesn't matter what you're making an engine, they always got to fucking cook that shit because it releases the tension that builds up when you cut metal. And even though this is thin aluminum, the tension in the aluminum, if I just get that without, let's say it looks nice when I get it out of the corrugator and I install it, it opens up like a fan. And the first time I lay it in, if that looks good, but if the wind blows on it or it travels across the ocean, anything that moves, the ribbon will start to expand, it won't go back. When I stretch it, it opens and closes, opens and closes. So finally the ratio of when I install it and I tension it, it's going to stay a lot longer in that tension once I've taken the stress out of the corrugation. And that's the theory of that. You like, even people that make brass capsules for fucking microphones, there's always that secret shit where they're cooking it over and over again because when you drill all the holes in it, it adds a lot of tension and could warp the metal. You don't want anything warping like that, so they bake it. It relieves the tension, and you know, you see that thing where they put bearings and shit. That's what I mean. Like, if you're watching this channel, go ahead and move on, man. If you like watching guys that fucking put like a new bearing set and some kind of fucking machinery where you get the blowtorch and they heat up the metal so it gets smaller, and then they put another one in fucking the refrigerator where it gets colder, and then they fucking put it together and then it locks up with heat. I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. You're allowed to get a, look at, if you're 60 years old and you want to get a fucking mohawk, you can get a mohawk. I'm just talking about a few douchebags that I know that I'm just like, I ain't gonna help you, man. Your balls are dropping. When you get out of the car, your balls get out first, all right? So just fucking get over it. I think that's a little bit too much information. But I did look at my statistics, and there usually isn't any women that watch me. Unless Mary comes online with her husband, which they got some mics from me. That is the only time where I may have to correct my political correctness because she's a lady. And I don't want to come across as being too rude and vulgar about the male anatomy. But if you are older, which I think are more older people here, next time you get out of your car, you're just going to realize your balls need to get out first. I'm just saying. I'm just being fucking honest. I'm just a messenger. If your balls haven't dropped yet, God bless you. Wear Fruit of the Loom, butt huggers. Keep that shit up fucking tight because you don't want to lose them at 59 and 60 and then have that shit drop in the water when you go to take a piss or you're sitting down on the toilet. That's what happens. My drummer, I already gave it up. He told me one time his balls hit the fucking water. How in the fuck did that happen? I know how it happened. Your balls dropped. There you go. Sorry, Phil. I take that back. No one's going to watch this. There's only 8 people watching this, so, you know, who knows Phil, my drummer. All right, so let's get this going. We're going to install this ribbon. You know the real grill. That's right. If you're 60 and you have a mohawk, you cannot wear a shirt. Keith, you're still a young guy. You got nothing to worry about that, man. You become 60 and it's like, what? I remember one time I was getting at Home Depot and I was like, what's going on? I'm literally letting my balls out first before I get out of the car. That is something that's too much information for everyone to handle right now. Because I'm the mysterious guy that you can't see while I'm working on this shit. Right? Just being honest. I'm just a fucking messenger. You know, when you get older, shit, like, you know, when I get together with buddies now, all we talk about is how we're fucking banged up. You know? Hey, what's going on, brother? I just fucking had a hernia operation the other day. Fucking put a fucking catheter in my cock, and it was fucking, the nurse was like totally hot, and like she was handling my junk, and I was like, oh shit, you know, like that's the kind of shit we're talking about. Or is that one commercial where the guys, they're giving him a exam at the doctor's, you know, in the back part, and the doctor says, his name is what was it? He goes, don't get hard, Tom. And the doctor says it to the guy, and the guy's all, my name's not Tom. He goes, no, I'm telling myself that. That's fuck. I don't know if I said that right, but that sounds fucked up. All right. Yeah, man. As you get older, I recommend not wearing boxers. You got to wear some shit that's going to keep that shit up tight. You know what I'm saying? You know, look at, we're already talking. See what I mean? You get guys together a little bit older. Instead of talking about ribbons, we're talking about letting your balls out of the car first when you go to fucking Home Depot. You know? All right, so we got that oiled up. Let's put this ribbon. Let's see if we can knock this out in a one and done. I've been lucky. Only when I did the coals, I had some really difficulty because of the ribbon. Hoping I can knock this out. Pretty dynamite. Looks way better than it was before. I think that's a little bit off center. Let me correct that. Let me see if it's center in the light. Hold on. The bottom is off, but I'll correct it now, but you don't have to, but I do want to make sure that at least it's close. That's right. All right, so now here comes the tough part. That solder joint melted a little bit of the plastic clip, so I need to put the plastic clip on exactly where it was. But in doing that, I think it's going to tweak the ribbon, so this is going to be a little bit tough right here. So I can get this fucking one and done for my friend Keith who's watching, and I feel like, it's like I would never invite, some guy said, hey man, can you do this ribbon for me, but I'm going to stand behind you and watch you the whole time. I'd be like, fuck no, dude, get the fuck out of here, you creepy motherfucker. So here I am now doing this where everybody that has my ribbons now is watching. Keith is there, Shannon's there, Chaz is there from Owl Studios, and then who am I missing? I'm missing someone. Paul from England, Chaz from New York, Keith from Los Angeles, Shannon, I was going to say San Diego, but I got that wrong. Shannon, where are you from again? Shannon actually named his mics that I made for him. And wait, Laverne and Shirley, that's the name. Did I get that right? Shannon, where are you from? It ain't San Diego. I don't know why I think that you're from San Diego. But I know he has 2 mics that I made from it that he named them Laverne and Shirley. Orlando, there it is. See, now I'll remember you because you're by Audioscape. My friends from Audioscape, they have a company down there which I love, and I use all their gear. Yep. I mean, it's true. I mean, all you guys are the only dudes that are watching. I think there's like 8 people watching, and about 5 of you have all made mics with me. So that's fucking, I'm honored, man. That's so sick, if you think about it. All right, so that looks pretty good. Here are my shoes. They're fucking wore out. I've had them for like 15 years. They're dance shoes. What are they called again? Linda? Or Linda? They cost a few $100. When you bought them, they only have that white leather sole because they're for dancing. So I went to East LA to my guy. He put on a leather bottom, put on a leather heel, and he put this cool little leather part here. It's time for this. I get these redone. But man, oh my God, these are so comfortable. I wear these all the time because when I'm walking around cables and stuff at the studio, they really work good. And they're handsome shoes. Yep, that's what they are. And they're all leather, made really well. And honestly, man, these have been through hell. I just get the bottom. I took it to a shoe guy, had him change all this to make it so I can wear it on the street. And these bottoms are really durable. So yeah, everybody always goes, yeah, bowling shoes on, but they're dancing shoes actually. You know, I'm trying mine, but I love them. They're cool. So as my balls drop, I'm wearing cool shoes. That's all that matters. Okay, so let me see where this tension is here. Yeah, man. I'm gonna just make sure this is locked in. A little bit tighter. That's good. And I gotta make this center before I lock in that bracket. So let me just make sure that is center. Nope, it's a little bit to the right. Let me scoot it over here. I had to tilt it down because I want the alcohol to run away from the magnet. Okay, that looks better. Let me try that. Nope, I don't like that. That's better. Let me check that. Yep. That's perfect. That looks fucking dynamite. Okay. Let's change this so it won't fucking tilt on me now. And let's put in the top bracket. I'm not going to go all the way because I may need to move it. So I'm just going to go some of the way. Make sure that this screw doesn't fly into the ribbon the way the original one. I know, Keith, I didn't tell you, but your ribbon was fucked because someone, when they installed it, the screw flew into the ribbon and damaged about 1/4 of it was damaged with the screw dent. It doesn't mean it wouldn't work, but it won't work as good. So I'm going to go tighter on this one and then tighter on this next one. Put a little happy tree right there. Maybe a little happy river. Can put a little fucking bird flying over here. Fucking nice stream. Make sure that mountain has a nice little shadow on it. The river going up the stream, gonna go out into the ocean. When you get the fucking ocean, you're gonna go down to Ensenada and get some fucking lobster and some fucking shrimp. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Okay, so last night when I did this is the scary part. When you pull this ribbon, this is where it gets like, I don't want this shit to get fucked up. Good. Woo, did it. I did that last night, man, and the fucking ribbon just went, fuck you. Holy moly. So now I need to worry about this part here. I don't like the way the solder joint was here, but I want to make sure that the ribbon doesn't snag. So that was good. I don't want that ribbon to touch the ground because that's the positive. So I just got to make sure that's clear and clean. All right, so there is our badass ribbon for Keith. If Keith is still watching, your mic looks great. I obviously still have to test it, and if it doesn't sound good, I will fucking do that ribbon again. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. The Absurdist says, welcome to the clan. This is a good crew. I'd say this is probably one, minus Mary and her husband joining us. It's almost has everyone here that's built mics with me, and I've done mics for them. Keith from Los Angeles, Chaz at Electric Owl, Shannon down in Florida, Paul, fucking England mate, and who am I missing? Jesus. Anyways, I'm trying to get them all. I'm trying not to fuck this up too, so excuse me. I need to have a drink. If you want to help me out, you can always go down into near the comments or the description and buy me a cup of coffee. Hello from Sydney, Australia. Yeah. And like I said, you can add me as a friend. You can become a member. I have 7 members, I believe. I know them all. I've done work for most of them, and which is nice. Okay, so that's good. So now we have to put the screens back. These screens are strictly made for keeping the ribbon inside the transducer. And like I said, the only reason these are here is to keep that ribbon from going forward or back outside of the transducer, which is this, and the magnet, so it doesn't tear. You know, put the fan back on me because I'm cooking. Okay, so let's do the last part of reassembling the microphone, which I have just normal package taping that you would send. The Chinese using mics come with that same tape, so I just got the same tape as them. Works good, lasts long. The only tapes that I ever have a problem with are Cascades, Pinnacles, and Golden Age. Those tapes do not last that long, and if you have some hot summers where you are or whatever's going on, the tape just doesn't last long. And what happens is that little screen that I'm putting on goes bad and starts to flop around in the transducer because the tape stopped working. This packaging tape, I've never come across it and have it become unglued, or even mics that I've done that people have sent back a few years later to work on. The tape's still pretty good, so I just use it. What's up, Clay? Kentucky. I have Clay's mics too. Those are, I'm just going to paint those green and your mic's going to be sent out. I think we agreed on that, right, Jay? Yep. I went and got some automotive paint actually yesterday because I ran out. And I just have to, your mics are done. I just need to spray. So now we got a full crew. Jay, everybody welcome Jay Clay. He's got some mics for me that are green. And we have Keith, Paul, Chaz, Shannon. Who am I missing? I think that was it. Minus Mary. All of you have done mics with me. So I cannot believe we have this solid crew of people on this today. It's 3:25 here in Southern California. I'm sure on East Coast time. Oh, Paul from England. That's what I'm talking about. Did I see you, Paul? Yeah, Paul's from England. And we got Florida. Come on now. We got Shannon from Florida, Paul from England. Clay, where are you from again? Wait. Yeah, because your boxes only say Sweetwater. What a crew. What a fucking crew. I love it. I actually wish we were all hanging out at Nick's Cafe having some coffee. I'd be ordering a tuna melt right now with bacon and add avocado. If you didn't like to eat meat, I would recommend you can get a potato, maybe a potato taco from over there. If you're a meat lover, they make a crazy meatloaf. I'm just saying. Don't hate me. I'm just a messenger. Lexington, Kentucky. There you go. What a crew. I think this may be one of my favorite days. I'm not going to lie. I cannot fucking believe all you guys are here. But then also, yeah, Shannon from Florida. And yeah, we'll get you a Reuben. I wish we were all having a meal right now, man. But in some ways, I can't fuck this up because this is Keith's mic. Keith is on here. He's actually a real bud. I've been through a lot with that guy, man. We've made records. Here's the cool thing about Keith. So when I had my old studio, Keith was getting out of music and he gifted me a fucking wicked custom made Hackstrom. And it was just fucking sick. I mean, I use it, it's like a 6-string bass. So he gifted it to me. And then Keith built a new studio and he was talking about that guitar that he regretted giving it to me. And I gifted it back to him. So Keith actually has one of my favorite guitars. But I made him promise, you better fucking gift that back to me, man. If you get it, even if you're like, fuck music, I'm not going to do this shit anymore. Do not sell that guitar. You've got to get it back to me. It was one of my favorite fucking, it was like the wall of sound guitar. It sounded like A Day in a Life when they hit that piano chord at the end where it goes, dun. Every note in that bass guitar sounded like A Day in a Life. So yeah, yeah, there's history here. There's no fucking around. I'm not some fucking bot or some fucking talking head on here and telling you to buy some stupid fucking plug-in that's gonna make your mix sound good. Fuck that shit. Record a good band and your mix will sound good. That's my tip of the day. You're only as good as the bands you record. So if I record shitty bands, I'm not going to be the one to tell you how to mix because guess what? I have a shitty band. It's really difficult to mix that. But you have a genius fucking band combined with your expertise of recording and being an engineer. Now you're fucking talking. Now you're cooking. You're cooking with fire, as they say in fucking England or in fucking France. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's right. But you actually gave... That's right. That's what it was. I gifted it back to you because I had moved out of Los Angeles to Hawaii. You are correct. And then I kind of like poked you a little bit and just kind of, hey, Keith, good. How you doing, man? By the way, that guitar, you're like, fuck no, I'm never going to sell it. I'm like, fucking shit. I'm never getting that guitar out of your hands again. I cannot believe the first time you gifted that to me. I was like, what? It's like the Excalibur. You know, it's like someone saying, hey, you want the Excalibur? I'll pull it out of the stone. You can have it. What? I'll take it. So Keith This is his mic that I'm doing right now. I know, Keith. The problem is, though, man, if I have it here, I'm going to be like, I want it. And you're going to be driving on the highway and be like, is that Manny behind me? Is that Manny trying to run me off the road? He wants my fucking guitar. You just see me in your rear mirror saying, I fucking want your guitar, motherfucker. All right, so this is Keith's 77. Now, in the description, this mic came with a 1.8 ribbon. I put a 2.5 in there that was more resilient, I think, on my end. I corrugated the ribbon, I know for a fact, better than that one. And then if you can tell, even looking at it, my ribbon is almost through the whole gap of the magnet. And that's going to add about 3 to 5 dBs of sound to this. Now, in their description, they do claim that these sound better with more top end than normal mics, and the cost of this mic is about $250. So that being said, I pretty much think Keith has a real winner. So there's the body of the guitar, and this is what the mic looks like. And we're gonna, it's a little bit of a process. I'm gonna make sure that this, because it's only gonna go in one way, I believe. That'd be the front, should be this. Well, there is one different thing. In the other MXLs, there's a little notch here that will only let you put the front here. But I'm pretty positive that that is going to be the front right there. It's possible, it's possible. That's right, I have to get the case with all the paraphernalia. Hold on a second. Hold that thought. Paul, you son of a gun. Paul's sending me a little bit of loot. That's a coffee right there, buddy. Thank you so much. Actually, I'm almost done with, Chaz sent me some coffee from his familia they used to drink. I'm almost done with that. That means I'll be going out to get some more coffee. And Paul, you're going to make this possible. Thank you so much. Well, I'm upgrading a ribbon mic. Someone is inquiring, a good man. And all these people that are online right now are my buds, including Jay Clay. He's got a pair of MXLs that I'm about to paint for him. And they're going to be getting the new green mini coat. All right, so the 2 screws right here. Thank you, Paul, for that money. I appreciate it. It really goes from, like, your hands to my mouth. I mean, literally, I fucking need that shit. Keeps me alive. I mean, we're nothing without our fucking coffee in the morning, man. I am just useless. Like, my wife used to not, like, we have a little, what's that, something out in my hand? I'm cutting it. We have an old-style coffee maker, and sometimes she would, I mean, not that her job is to wash it for me, but she knows if it's washed in the morning when I get up, I'll make that cup of coffee, and I get my day started, and I'm good to go. But when she doesn't do the coffee, and I wake up, and I go, oh, fucking, I want to wash that, and then, like, I don't get my coffee, and then she's like, you need your coffee to fucking get your shit going. And I'm like, right, babe. So now, this morning I woke up, I was like, oh damn, she washed it. And I fucking made my coffee. Here I am today doing fucking work I love. And that's because of the coffee. I'm telling you. It's the fucking secret of the, if you don't like coffee, you can be a tea guy. Or what they call that new stuff, which is mud, which is like mushrooms. I can't get into that yet. Maybe at some point I'll try to go down that hatchet, but I would probably do that if I then could put a shot of espresso in it. And then I don't know if that defeats the purpose of why you would, you know, drink that mud shit. But I'd be like, oh, I need to put 2 shots in that. All right, let's see here. Now there's a little bit of an art to this that I may have fucked up. I forgot. Yeah, I fucked up. Son of a bitch. That pole has to go through the body before I lock this in. I remember there was something I was like, don't put that. What the fuck? If you guys can, man, Keith makes some really great music if you want to tune into there. Chaz has a wicked fucking studio out in the East Coast. He's always doing sick bands. He's doing a jazz band right now. Shannon's been using those mics on his music that I'm hoping he will share it, at least, you know, let us know what's the word on that. And then if Mary and her husband join in, they have a new studio they just signed a lease on. And that's a big deal. That's what it was. So you have to install that first before you lock the motherfucker in, because those are what's going to hold the yoke for the mic arm. Yeah, man, check out Keith's. The video is called What I Learned from Being Shot. That was filmed by my friend Gus Black, who's a childhood friend. I can't believe that it somehow happened with Keith. And then Keith's music, he's singing in the video, and that was him tracking his band at my studio, and we worked on that, we mixed it. Keith did some of the vocals, he overdubbed on it, and we kind of did a accumulation of our own fucking vibe. Super sick song. If you guys can check out Ulf, his webpage is called Hobo Rec. And then honestly, I just tracked for 3 fucking days. Insane. I'm totally exhausted today. Michael Lemo's new record. Look up Norm's Rare Guitars on YouTube and also on Instagram. Michael Lemo is called Shark Attack. So if you look up Michael Lemo Shark Attack, that is a video I just did. I fully tracked it. That song was actually cut to a Mara machine 24-track tape machine, which is pretty fucking sick. So yeah, that's some goodness. You know, I'm trying mine. Okay, so then all right, we're fucking up. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this again. I know, this has got to be turning the other way around. When you get the other MXLs, there's only one way that you could possibly install the head basket. This is not the one that, even though this is an R144, the head basket isn't notched out. So before I give this back to Keith, I've got to make sure that the front is the front and the back is the back, because the polarity is going to be positive in the front and then it's going to be reversed in the back. So I don't want him to have any issues with phase. He's doing a drum set. Make sure that's correct. That's correct. Hooky pokey, hoochie poochie. Feels like I've been installing this head basket for like 30 fucking minutes. Yep. Magnetic tape and tube amps, man. I cannot not tell you how wonderful that is. Even though some buds, you know, I'm a Van Halen fan, and they have these plugins now that you just, sounds like Van Halen 1 and 2, and it's pretty fucking good. But one thing I will say, there's some mixers named Flood and Alan Mulder. They're some of the sickest motherfuckers on this earth. They were talking about now when they get mixes and you have like 17 virtual synths. And this applies to the guitar track that I'm talking about that sounds just like Eddie Van Halen. Is that when you listen to them on their own, they're fucking beautiful. It makes you just go, technology is fucking crazy on how good these sound. But when you stack them up together, it sounds like a swarm of bees, like a beehive, just buzzing. Like there's no definition. The harmonics aren't there. And that's where running real amps and real mics and ribbon mics like this make a difference. When you hear Michael Lemo's recording, his guitars sound fucking godly because we used real amps and that was tape. And that has a lot to do with the fucking sound. So yeah, there is something, but it is also an argument. It's an argument you can have that is just a boring argument because it means nothing. It means nothing unless it is what and how you use it. Also, his XLR was loose and I already screwed it in right when I got it. So there it is. That is a Manny style re-ribbon upgraded R77. The shit. Well, I gotta run out and pick up my wife. Keith, thank you so much for bringing this mic to me, and I'm thrilled. I'm honored. Paul, Chaz, Shannon, Clay, all you guys have mics done with me. So when I go on this channel now and all you guys show up, and it's really fucking cool. It's really great to hear you guys. And as far as Clay, I got your green paint yesterday. I had to go to this shop that's out here in East LA and get a small portion of it. And I'll be paying your mics probably tomorrow. It's a holiday. Tomorrow is a legal holiday, and probably Tuesday, no later than Wednesday. I have another friend that a guy named Sean. He's got a mic going out to where he lives. And so, yeah, man, every day I'm just been sending mics out, and also I'm not forgetting about you guys. And Chaz, please let me know when you get your mics if everything is okay. And then Paul, regarding your mics, I just have to, one, I'm not going to paint your mics, but I'm going to get you 2 stickers with those. And I still need to install those transformers. I was actually planning on doing it the last few days, but with Lemo coming in, it ate up 3 days of my life, which thank you guys for your patience. All right, man, we're going to head out. If you're interested in these mics, you just contact me. You can get this at Sweetwater for about $250. You can get all the other MXLs for about, now they're about $112. They used to be $99, but the tariffs have gone up. And for $250, I'll upgrade these mics. And the way it works is you go to Sweetwater, and don't do Musician's Friend or Amazon, because what you'll do is you'll go buy them, and then as soon as you bought them, they'll say that they're not available, and they won't come in for a few weeks. So just go to Sweetwater. You can buy these for $99. This one is actually cost you about $250. It's more. Weighs a ton. I think it has more top end than the normal R144s, even though it's an R44 inside. The head basket matters. And get my P.O. box. You can get my information from the description. I have my email there. All my social medias are there. And let's see. Just get a casket. Don't worry about. Actually, I disagree, man. Cascades are okay, but Cascades still have Chinese ribbons in them. They don't sound that, they sound good, but the ribbons are usually saggy. And I just did, Chaz, who's on this thing, I did 2 of his Cascade fatheads, and a fucking world of difference once you get a good ribbon in them. But you are correct. They're expensive mics. You're going to still pay, for a pair up to $700 for a Cascade, but they're still made in China. And they still have Chinese transducers, even though the aura of them is that they're quality mics, which is true. They're my favorite lollipop mics, but technically inside they're Chinese mics. So I would recommend sending your Cascades than having me do them. It's the same company as Pinnacle, and they're the same company Golden Age gets all their mics from. So it's all kind of ancestral. It's all kind of the same thing, Well, it's not, okay, these are questions that John's mentioning. It's not about the tension. One, the ribbon and the corrugation isn't that good in those. They're usually loose. And let's say a Cascade could have a 6.5 gap in it. They're only putting 5mm ribbon in there because it's just mass produced. They don't really care. So when you add it, when I cut a ribbon and put it between the 2 magnets, I can get 3 to 5 more dBs out of a microphone. And that makes a fucking huge difference. But hey, John, I am not saying that you don't have to do that. I'm giving people, the people that buy and get these upgrades from me are usually people that have studios that are really looking for something that can get closer to their R84s. A fathead cannot get as good as an R84. A fathead cannot get as good as a Royer, but they're right in the middle because they're better than usually stock because of the head basket. And like this one, the head basket has a lot to do with the sound. Fatheads are amazing. They're my favorite lollipops. Same with Cascades. Same with Pinnacles. Nadies. That's why I do Nadies, because of the big lollipop ribbon. So the argument is, go ahead and buy a Cascade and you're fine. Yeah, that's true. If you have your little, Universal Audio and you're just recording your drummer at your garage. But if you want to get close to getting a wicked fucking drum sound, then you get a Cascade and you upgrade it. That's my opinion. But then again, what do I know? But you can ask Chaz here, Keith is here, Shannon's here. All these people have gotten mics from me. So if that is the argument, it is true. You can retention it, but the quality of the ribbon and the corrugation does not match what I do. I put like a Royer resilient ribbon inside, which can take the corrugation and take the pressure of high sound pressure. You can use the mic in more places. The microphone that comes in those fat heads, you put that on a guitar rig, it's going to blow. And because it's too thin and the corrugation is not done as good. So anyways, my last hoopla is, let's give it up for John Appleseed for bringing up a really cool topic of, can you get a Cascade and say, fuck Manny, we're going to use it stock? I say, yes, you can. And this is America or wherever you're from, and you can fucking kick ass. But if you get it to me, I'll fucking hook you up and I'll make it sound badass. But do this. Put it on a drum set, test it. And then if you have me upgrade it, you'll be tripping. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I got all riled up over that. Talk to you later.